President Obama should take an economics lesson from one of America's presidential greats, that being Abraham Lincoln, who was a true growth and opportunity and wealth-creating president. We're back now with Rich Lowry from the National Review and his great new book, Lincoln Unbound. Okay, you really took this angle, more of an economic angle to Lincoln. I don't know that anybody's done that before. And you concluded what? Well,
my book is about Abraham Lincoln as the foremost apostle of opportunity in American history. And I trace how that played out in his amazing rise from obscurity and how it undergirded all his politics, all his policies really, including opposition to slavery, and then what we can learn about it from today. But the key thing to know, he grows up in the backwoods where most people are subsistence farmers, okay? Perfectly fine way of life, but not a great one if you have ambitions to do something else besides farming. And one of Lincoln's major ambitions was basically to blow up that world through connecting it with markets. Because you're a farmer there, without canals, railroads, or steamboats, there's no way to get your goods to the market.
And he favored all that.
Favored all of it.
In fact, as president, he actually subsidized some of that.
Yeah, and he supported that also when he was in Illinois, subsidizing these canals and railroads, because as soon as the railroad touches these hinterland areas, then the market comes. You're a farmer. Instantly now you can get manufactured goods from the East, which weren't available. Clothing from the East wasn't available. And how are you going to pay for them? You need cash. So you begin growing for the market, and you get this vibrant, diverse economy where people with all sorts of talents and interests have a way up in the world. All right. And that's what Lincoln wanted to do.
Lincoln believed in private property.
Absolutely.
And he believed in the idea that man and woman should be able to get the fruits of, keep the fruits of their labors. Like he was the first supply sider, as best I can tell.
Foundational. For him. He quoted the line from Genesis about earning your living off the sweat of your own brow. And this is one of the reasons, principled reasons, he opposed slavery. Because what was slavery? As he called it in the second inaugural, unrequited toil. You were stealing the proceeds of someone else's labor, and that was fundamentally wrong. And this also played into his opposition to class warfare, because there's a class warfare politics right there in the middle 19th century as well. A delegation of working men visited him in the White House during the war once, and he said, "Let not him who is houseless pull down the house of another, but build his own." And that's fundamentally, that's a Kudlowian sentiment if I've ever heard one.
All right, it is great. That's why I love this book. Liberals try to claim him today.
Absolutely.
Barack Obama tries to claim him today. Where has the president gone wrong?
Well, look, they point to the government support for railroads and canals or the like. I would say two things there. One, if you're going to have major projects like that at the time, you didn't have a financial market that was going to support them. You didn't have big industrialists that were going to support them. They needed some government assistance. Now, you cast that forward today, who doesn't support at some level bridges and roads? This is uncontroversial.
But he wasn't a redistributionist.
Right. In the mid-19th century, you don't have a welfare state that's taking money from some people and giving it to others. It's not a redistributionist government. There's not a huge bureaucracy. And importantly, as we were talking about earlier, there's not regulation to hamper development.
Right. And they raised money for the Civil War, but they went back to the gold standard.
The income tax went away.
They got rid of the income tax finally after the Civil War was over. All right. So I'm going to claim Lincoln as a Reagan-esque supply sider. That's what I'm going to do. All right. My co-host, Rich Lowry, the best of the best, National Review editor-in-chief. His new book, Lincoln Unbound, available now. That's it for tonight's show. That's the book right there. Tomorrow night, we'll have a great Fed debate.